All right, so I want to talk about a terrifying experience I had a couple days ago, and I'm still kind of traumatized because I have quite a lot of different vape devices, and I use them, I take care of them, I clean them and stuff like that. I have lots of Smok products. But what happened the other day, and I had this device, it worked well for a few years, and the other day something broke. Maybe hard to see, but there's a little piece of plastic in here that broke off. And I didn't notice, and I changed the batteries, and all of a sudden a fire started. A fire. You can see if you look closely. I don't know whether the camera will show it, but there was a fire, and immediately I pulled out the batteries, and wow, I was shocked because that could have burned out my house and burned down my neighbor's house. I didn't want to end up on the news being one of those guys which you hear about. But this was just after years of use. It starts to the battery holder the plastic starts to give way over time. Every time you take out the batteries to charge them, slowly but surely it starts to give way, and eventually it broke. And what happened was I almost had a fire that could have burned down my house very easily. So always be vigilant of these things and just make sure that your batteries are well wrapped, and the devices are there's no breaking in the device. But I sent them an email to Smok, because it's a Smok Xpriv, and they're like, send me the sleeve to show that it's not a counterfeit. But I've had this for a number of years, so I didn't keep the box for it. But it definitely isn't a counterfeit, because I bought it from a store, and I had the box and everything, and it did function well for a number of years. They're definitely not going to counterfeit a device that's worth $30, $40, right? It's just not worth it. So it's just a warning. This could have easily turned into a real disaster. And it was a fire. It was definitely it would have ignited some things in my room, and I'm just very lucky that I caught it in time, because if I would have put the cover on, I was there, so I would have smelt it. It still smells like burnt plastic, and but all I can say is just be vigilant. After a number of years having these devices, that some of the plastics that hold the battery compartments start to give way, and you don't want to be that guy on the news which you hear about with the vape product that explodes or burns down his house. But now if you've had these devices for a number of years, I would suggest maybe getting another one, and maybe throwing out these old ones, or at least making sure that they're in good shape, good condition, and always just be on the guard and make sure those batteries are well wrapped, because even a hole on those batteries can be a fire hazard. So always make sure the batteries are well wrapped, and always check the battery compartments of these devices and make sure that nothing is giving away, because now a lot of people have been vaping for years and years. So over time, taking in and out those batteries, the plastic compartments start to give away, and that's just inevitable. And I'm just very lucky I caught it, and but it was very rapidly the flames started. In a matter of seconds, once I put the batteries in, the flames at the bottom started, and very terrifying. And I'm still somewhat traumatized because I have a lot of Smok products, and they're very good. They've been very good, but I'm starting to wonder with my older devices what's up with them. Should I get rid of them? And maybe get new devices or just throw them out. It's hard to know exactly, but this one, the plastic, it definitely broke off, and I have the piece of plastic that broke. But Smok is not interested. They're asking me for a box to see if it's counterfeit, and obviously I don't have a box after several years of having a device. But this is definitely legitimate. They don't sell these counterfeits here in Canada. It's just not worth it. But it was a good device while it lasted. But now it's a fire hazard, and I'm going to return it to the vape store that I brought it, just to show them, make them aware. I don't expect anything from them. I just want them to be aware, because I'm on friendly terms with them, because I buy a lot of stuff. Just make them know. Maybe they're going to do a test themselves to see if it will catch fire in their backyard or something. But this is just a warning, man, because that was a really scary experience, and I'm just very lucky that I'm not on the news. So anyways, that's really all I gotta say about that. Thank you.